Weekend update on the Main Central Railroad. What I've been doing for the last month has been building and weathering and getting DCC installed on GP7. So the 580 in the background there was one where I tried to make this locomotive look the weather that it was in its last years before it's finally painted to harvest gold. 575 is another 9 dynamic brake 7 GP7 that I finished up. And 578 is one I've had running, but I went back and weathered it and gave it the same weather in fact I've given all the other locomotives. I want to talk about something else here. It's very interesting. So my 409 locomotive here is a U18B, and I have had this thing DCC installed and running, and then all of a sudden it wouldn't run. It wouldn't run. It wouldn't run. And I got frustrated and couldn't figure out why. So I took it and gave it to my friend John Swanson to check it out, and he checks it out. It runs just fine in his layout. So I said, all right, great. I'll bring it home and put it on my layout, and it won't go. It won't go. Now it powers up, and you see power up the drive, like you're going to make it start going. The locomotive motor increases like that, but the locomotive wouldn't move. So I'm getting a little bit frustrated at this point, and I'm not a DCC expert by any means. And so John came over, and I said, do you need help with this locomotive, John? And he brings it over, and we put on the layout and put my JMRI on my computer up, and we're looking at it, and we're like, well, nothing. And then it was like, you got the brake on. And I was like, brake on? What brake on? So I get the loc sound manual out, and F4 is a brake, and I hit F4, and all of a sudden it takes off flying. So lesson learned there. If it's got a braking mechanism, check that before you start wondering why the locomotive won't run when you power it up. The other thing I did is I got both of my RS11s running, and apparently I'd done the same thing with them because they both have loc sound decoders, and I'd hit F4 inadvertently, and both of them wouldn't run here, and I took it over to John's and it ran. So when I came back here and they didn't run, problem solved. Hit F4, get them so the brakes are released. The other thing I've been doing in the last couple of weeks is redoing all my car cards. And as you can see, I've pulled every train and every car out in the layout, and they all have the new car cards on them. So the car card holder is from Keith Stillman's Excel spreadsheet where he did a car card holder. And I went and redid all those. And then the actual way bills I've simplified because I was using the ones that you buy from Micromark that have all that information on them. And in reality, I don't think you need all that information. All you need to know is where the car is going and maybe what it has in it. So I've put, the loads in it here, tissue paper or whatever. And then I have other things like where it's going to be spotted at. So this one right here, because it's going to Rigby, it's going to staging. But this next one over here is going to Rockland, and it's ferrous oxide, and it's going to Dragon Cement. Now, I don't actually do the Rockland branch, and also I forgot the D on the end of Rockland. It's not Rockland, it's Rockland. But anyway, Dragon Cement is at the end of the Rockland branch, and what you have to do when you're building these trains up in Brunswick Yard is you have to put them in the order of where they're going to be dropped because there's not a lot of passing sidings, and a lot of the work is done from the actual main. So I've gone around and been redoing all the car cards all around the layout. I did some cleanup because it was just getting to be a mess in here, and restowed everything. I've stopped working on Brunswick, and I've pretty much stopped working the layout because what I'm trying to do is get the lounge and the cruise lounge and the other half of the basement finished up now. So I'm doing drywall work over there. I'm removing flooring and carpeting because I'm going to put all hardwood floors down here and on the other side. And I want to get that done so that when I do get back to operating the layout, I have a nice crew lounge area. There's an on the other side of the wall from the train room, we actually have a kitchen in there, and then a bathroom and a pantry, and then a very large room where we're going to have trains, a pool table, and the dispatcher's also going to sit over there. So the other thing I do want to get done before I get the layout back operating in is get a PBX phone system in here so the dispatcher can sit in there and dispatch the railroad. And what I'm showing you here is all these things that don't have the car cards, they're all made up. I just haven't attached them to it because I have to figure out the way bills for all these cars because this is going to be for the 1953 op session. So that's a whole string of cars for that. And the reason why some of them do have car cars is because I took cars that were in the 1970s era session that had dates that would work in 1953 and I've moved them to the 1953 era on the layout, so that's working out good. But anyway, that's the weekend update. I haven't done it in a while because I'm doing lots of work in the house, and I'm not really doing a lot of things on the layout to show any progress other than administrative, and also to make a better crew lounge for the future. Everybody have a good time, and hopefully we'll get back to operation sometime real soon.